What is up, geeks and geekettes? It's another episode of the Countdown City Geekcast. My name is Ted, aka Steady. Joining me on the show, the man behind the magic. You know him as Joe Garcia.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for watching and listening to us again for another Countdown City Geekcast. And it's a great show today. We're going to be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, the new trailer that just dropped. And you know what? I'm just waiting for my good friend here, Maddie B, to bring the show in, to officially start the show.
Are you
Come
done with
on,
the
Maddie.
camera? What are you doing? You get me dizzy. And my partner in crime, you know him as Matty B.
I'm having some technical difficulties today. I've been rearranging some stuff in my office, but do you know what? I didn't forget. Do you know what I didn't mess up? There we go, baby. Let's go. And how about that national championship game for anyone tuning in, fellow sports fans there? What a show that was. But we did get that nice, beautiful sneak peek of Ant-Man. So let's talk about it. What's the order here, Ted?
Ooh, we're gonna get there in just a second. First, let's say what's up to the Legacy of Nerds, saying yo, let's go. What's going on, sir?
What's
Good to
going
see
on,
you.
Legacy and Nerd? Thanks for watching along with us, man. Give us some love. Hit that like button. Hit the heart button. Send us some stars.
Absolutely. We have a great show for you guys. We're going to be talking about a fan-made Superman video game made with some fantastic technology. That's going to be towards the end of our show. Joe also wants to tell you guys a little bit more about the Megan film. So in case you haven't seen his review, he wants to give you guys some details about his press screening that he was a part of last week, and all about Megan, which is turning some heads. Made 30 million domestically over the weekend, 45 million worldwide, and only cost $12 million to make. So not too shabby if you're quadrupling your investment. But first, of course, we have to talk about that national championship game. I mean, I'm just kidding. What game? There was no game on.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about the new, latest Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer. If you haven't seen it yet, it is on our profile, and I know Maddie wants us to. Maddie wants us to show it on the stream.
You're allowed to show trailers.
The mouse is gonna take over if we try it. We could try it, but the mouse may take over.
Well, you know what? Why don't we do this? Let's compromise here and let's just go ahead and show a picture of the actual trailer and not the trailer, because they will get involved. But we can also fight it, Teddy. We can fight this. Man.
Yeah, but how? Let's talk about this. There's other creators in the chat as well. The mouse only wants people to see the trailer, right? It's not like we're showing portions of the film. It's not like we're showing an episode of The Mandalorian or something. It's a trailer. I think the trailer will be fine.
That they're going to cut down the trailer right now. I said they're not going to do it now, Ted. They're going to probably do it later on.
All right, we'll give it a shot.
They can't hold us back, Ted.
I see you, David. Modoc. Yes, we're going to talk about that as well. All right, I'll pull it up right now, and hopefully Mickey is too occupied with everybody streaming it and watching it at the same time to where we won't have any issues. Hopefully.
If everybody watching gives us a like right now, I'll chug this whole beer before it starts.
Oh, look at Ryan says they just say you can't monetize it. That's all, Ted.
Oof. Yeah. I hope that's it, because some have. I don't remember what studios have tried to take it down. Maybe it was Paramount. Paramount's been pretty. We've had to battle Paramount a couple of times showing trailers. Regardless, here is the trailer. Let's see. Let's make it as big as possible here. Here is a brand new trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Oh, let's take this logo off too. There you go. Everybody see it? Hopefully we're not too much in the way. All right. I'm going to mute my mic. I suggest you gentlemen do it too. Here we go. In 3, 2.
You're an interesting man, Scott Lang. You're an Avenger. You have a daughter. But you've lost a lot of time. Like me. We can help each other with that. Who are you? I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want. What's that? Time.
It can rewrite existence and shatter timelines. You cannot trust him.
I don't care who this guy is. I just lost so much. He can give us a second chance.
Let me make this easy for you. You will bring me what I need, or everything you call a life will end.
This is all my fault.
You may not want her to watch this.
We had a deal.
You thought you could win.
I don't have to win. We both just have to lose. I'm sorry, Cassie.
Oh man. Oh man. Scotty's in trouble. That's all I gotta say about that. So instant reactions. Joe, let's start with you first, man. What'd you think?
I thought it was great. I liked it, man. Especially, that nice little touch there, but by introducing Modoc, that was bomb right there. But yeah, I agree with what Legacy of Nerds said. He said Scotty's going to die like in the comic books. It does appear that way, Somebody's not gonna make it. Think we lost your audio, Ted.
Oh my bad, I just muted real
There you
quick.
go.
It's giving me some, and here's the comment. Scotty gonna die. Scotty
Yep.
doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Bro, I think Scotty's going to die like in the comics, and then David says the same thing. Man, I'm getting some serious Dark Knight Rises vibe, especially with the Ant-Man helmet sort of lying and it's cracked and it's broken into pieces, sort of like the cowl in Dark Knight Rises. Give me some of those vibes. Maddie, your first initial reactions, and then we might take a peek at a couple of these frames here.
I guess it's all right, to be honest. Ant-Man's not the most overwhelmed. Like, he's not the most, like, I don't know. He doesn't really move the needle for me too much. This looks like a Kang trailer. It looks like Kang's movie, and I'm cool with that though. But Ant-Man is just gonna be so overpowered by a character like Kang. It's just we'll see how it works out. But I don't know. It looked like it's going to be all right. It looked visually stunning. It looks like it's going to be very fun to watch. But Ant Man just doesn't really move the needle for me. Kang is definitely stood out to me in this trailer here. I'm still going to see it. They're still going to get my money, but maybe I'm just a little bit also like drug out because I spent 3/4 of watching that football game, and I really wanted the trailer to slap hard. But it was okay.
I will start out with what has been speculated and the toys have confirmed, and there's been some artist renditions of it. But Modoc will be in the film. Here he is with his big old golden grill and all. And I will say I'm going to give it a shot. It's definitely not the Modoc we're used to, but Marvel usually does things for a reason. So hopefully we're going to see maybe different versions of him, different looks. This might not be how he looks the entire film, but it could be maybe a variant of MODOK or something along those lines. Either way, I'm going to give Marvel the benefit of the doubt and see how he acts and see how he talks and see how he moves, and then I'll make a judgment call on exactly whether or not I like him. Joe, I think you've been a pretty big fan of MODOK, and I think you watched the Hulu series as well, right?
Yeah, I watched the Hulu series. He's always a fun character to me, and we could be seeing a variation of him in this, what couple seconds that you saw him, second or two in the trailer, didn't really do him any justice, and I think it could be a variant, maybe not, but either way, I mean, it's cool to see the character on screen. It's something that Marvel fans love, and I mean, if you watch the series Modoc, you're gonna want to see him up on the big screen. So it's something to get excited about. I kind of see where Ant-Man might not move the needle necessarily for a lot of people, but I think this is an important film in Phase 5, especially with the start of the Kang dynasty.
Oh, for sure.
I
That I am excited about.
Absolutely. And Dave, you and I think alike, sir. I was kind of going through some spots that I was curious about, and so I'm going to share this other shot of Modoc. And ooh, I cannot tell whether I like this or not. It looks weird. It looks like a real human face, like shoved into this tiny helmet. Okay, so this was just like a tenth of a second probably that we got of this shot. So gonna wait, gonna see again the full look and how he moves and everything else, and yeah, we'll figure it out. But this is definitely more in line with the comics, more in line with the Modoc we know. And Maddie, your thoughts on this look? It is jarring a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely odd. I had to give it a second look back because at first I was like, "What is this?" But it's they're gonna make it look better than this. I bet this might just
Sure.
be the trailer rendering or something. Maybe it'll get backlash. Maybe it's one of those like old scenes they haven't rendered yet, just so people shout it out a bunch, so the trailer gets a whole bunch of hype, even if it gets a bunch of clicks of people being like, "What is that?" or stories. I would prefer if it not look like this in the movie. I would prefer that.
I want to know
Well,
who's playing him as
unfortunately,
well.
he's gonna probably look like that. He kind of looks like that in the comic book, and if you've seen the series, I mean, that's what you're gonna expect.
Trying
I
to
mean, it
figure
looks
out what it is.
Modoc's odd looking anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
No, for sure, for sure. And I'm trying to figure out what exactly it is that is a little bit off. And I want to say part of it might be the actual eyes. Most of the time, he just has sort of whited out eyes. So to see Modog with pupils is kind of throwing me off.
Hold on, I'm pulling up just images. I'm just doing a Google search on images of
It
Modoc.
it
Uh,
looks like he has pupils, which most of the time you don't see. I think most of the time you
nah,
don't see. So
this doesn't. Now that my memory's refreshed, no, this guy, whoever's inside of this helmet here looks like an accountant or just like a normal dude. It's just a normal white guy inside of there. He might work at Farmers Insurance. It- no, that does not look like Modoc.
It could be a variant. I'm saying it, like Ted was saying, it could be a variant.
it could be a number of things. So
Yeah.
I want to see where that part is in the trailer. That's what I want to see. And it's gonna be pretty. I'll go through it and see if I can find it again. Other than that, Kang. I always said Kang is gonna give the Avengers problems. He's gonna give the Avengers problems, which means he's definitely gonna give Ant-Man problems. And so it looks like a real one-sided fight. Does Scott Lang go down by the end of this movie? It's possible, but we've lost so many of the original Avengers already. I don't think they need to kind of lose anymore. But Kang has to win. Like we know there's other movies down the road. So not only is he should come out of this on top, but he should basically wreck Scott Lang. I I would say, does Michael Douglas make it out of this film? I think that's a bigger question. Like you need to write somebody off. Michael Douglas is probably the number one contender for that, right? Am I wrong, Joe? What do you think?
Well, I hate to break it to you, Teddy, but Kang has already killed a ton of Avengers. And I think this is just the beginning. If in fact either Michael Douglas' character, the OG Ant-Man, bites it here, or Scott Lang does, somebody's going to die. And I think it's going to be more than one person. Multiple people are going to die. And the thing is, as the Kang dynasty starts to unfold in the MCU, you're going to start seeing other victims as well. Some of the OG members, maybe of the Avengers, might not be around. But I mean, that's what it's all supposed to do. The Kang, it's supposed to show you how bad Kang is, and you want to go ahead and have that intimidating factor where you have to lose before you find out how to win.
Yeah, definitely. And okay, so I found the part of the movie, of the trailer, where we see the first sort of shot of Modoc here. So it's gonna be kind of hard to see that exact frame, but it does just look like a normal sort of human head in that suit, in that vehicle. It's a little jarring. Again, it's only a second, right? And there you also see in the bottom left, it just looks like a decapitated human head, and I don't
It
know, I
it
don't know
looks
if
like a
that's
motorcycle. It looks like a motorcycle cop with his visor up. I mean,
oh
that just
man,
that does not look like what you would want it. I don't think to look like. It's just a normal human head. Is this actor of note? I didn't even look at that. Is there a reason why they want to show his actual face?
I'm not sure
Uh,
here. Let's see. Let's go into. Oh, this could be something. Hold on. Kang is gonna go apeshit, and I'll be there for it. David says Corey Stoll, I believe, is Modoc. Corey Stoll, who played the villain in the first one. That could be extremely interesting. How did they get that to happen? Only one of the Kangs need to make it out of the movie. And David says, I like that he is weird. AF LOL. Is Yellow Jacket, that's what I was trying to remember. Yellow Jacket, the villain of the first film. That does look like Corey. That definitely is his bald head, and that looks
it's
like his face, but
it's definitely Corey Stoll. Yeah.
yeah, it
Um,
just slightly. I wish it wasn't. It didn't look exactly like the decapitated head of Corey Stoll. Like
yeah.
it's little too too much of a human like, right? It's too human like. And so look, I'm not saying it's going to break the movie. You know what's interesting is that this is another film where we're sort of seeing the consequences of the desires of the heroes. Like that's really been a very strong theme throughout this phase 4. And this is, I think, beginning of phase 5, I'm not mistaken. But think about it, right? So No Way Home, the desires of Peter Parker were to kind of fix his life, have everybody forget exactly who he was because his life would be easier. Wanda, her desire was to see her children who were not of this universe, and she was willing to kind of do whatever it took to see them, right? And then in this trailer, it's pretty much Scotty making a deal with the devil. Like, how do you gain more time? How do you gain back the time you missed because your daughter lived a life? I mean, not a life, but your daughter lived through those 5 years. You were stuck in the quantum realm. Like, she doesn't need to replay those. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so it's an interesting theme that we're seeing sort of all these heroes going through these desires and suffering consequences because of them. Maybe it's not the entire plot of the movie. Maybe it's just a couple of snippets in the trailer, but it does feel like we're not having villains sort of pushing the plots forward and the story forward, but it's also the heroes that are sort of flawed in making these things happen. So I think it's interesting what Marvel's doing. You guys have any thoughts about that?
I think a lot of the Avengers movies, or even their solo films, have been them dealing with the consequences of their own desires. I don't think that that's limited to Phase 4, even starting with the first movie in Iron Man. Tony Stark was very much a victim of that in those first few movies. of his ego, his own desires to be powerful, and then realizing the impacts that he had made on the world, and later changing down the road. But I think that's a kind of a common theme in a lot of Avengers movies. I don't think that. If Ant-Man dies in this movie, if Paul Rudd's Ant-Man dies in this movie, it's inconsequential because they're not writing Paul Rudd out of this universe. So that just means that they're going to come up with a new way for him to come back. Uh, I'm wondering what the consequence of this film is actually going to be. Paul Rudd, even if he somehow has an untimely death in this film, is not going to be written out of the Avengers movies. He's not going anywhere. They'll find a way to bring him back. And so I'm just wondering what the consequences of this movie will be, and I hope that they use Kang to set up this big bad for some movies moving forward, and not mess with too much, and just make Kang look like an absolute badass. And if that means killing Paul Rudd in this movie, fine. They'll bring him back.
Joe, final thoughts on the latest Ant-Man Quantumania trailer?
That's just a precursor going to set things up for either he's going to wind up getting out of the quantum realm, or they're going to show him getting awfully close to getting out of the quantum realm. Maybe Paul Rudd's sacrifice will just temporarily slow him down, but it's not, doesn't mean that it's going to stop him entirely, you know? So I think this is just showing you what's to come, you know? So like they said, I mean, this is the big bad that you didn't want to get out. You didn't want this variant out there. And even in the Loki series, they had been warning you, you don't want this guy anywhere near you, you know? And we saw a little bit of what happens in that short amount of time in that Loki series. So you can only imagine if he gets out of this quantum realm, it's all over, not just for the timeline that we're currently in, but for all of them.
Powerful moment when Scotty gets curb stomped by
Yeah.
Kang. What a shot that was. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to say the least. If you guys have any more thoughts or any comments about the trailer, drop them in the comments below. And Legacy Nerd says he's already taken a look at the official cast listing, which has now been updated. And yeah, that is the head of Corey Stoll as MODOK, and that's wild. Explain that
Yeah.
to me, Marvel. That's gonna be nuts. I cannot wait to see how
Yeah.
that turned out that way.
Everybody's
That's
running
just
with that story.
wild.
And by the way, everybody's running with that story. You just do a quick Google search and it says Ant-Man 3 will turn Yellow Jacket into the MCU's MODOK. And then you just take your pick from all the articles that are there and all the pictures that are up.
Good for him. I mean, good for Corey because Corey had a really huge career, like 4 or 5 years in a row. He was not only Yellow Jacket, but he was also on House of Cards. He was a great character on House of Cards for a
Oh,
few
that's
seasons.
the only thing I'll ever remember him for. Honestly, he's been in a lot of good stuff, but when he was playing, I believe he was playing a congressman
Yeah,
or senator, maybe
yeah.
in that show, and he was an alcoholic. He was a big fuck up, but Frank Underwood needed him. I loved that. And then, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. He already has a weird head, so him just seeing it floating around inside of that helmet for a while is, you know, hopefully they do something good with it.
Last thoughts on this. Let's see here. Oh, we got some more comments here. Marco says, "I can't believe a preview of what a legendary battle against the Avengers, Deadpool, Wolverine, and Fantastic Four are going to do already confirmed. I'm going to faint from emotion. It's a dream. We are living in wild times." Marco, it is amazing. David says, "Young Uncle Junior."
Yeah, from Many Saints of Newark, he played Junior
Oh my
Soprano.
God, you're right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
which was so
Which
unfitting because Corey Stoll is a big guy, and Dominic Chiavese is not a big guy. The guy who played the original
No, he was
Uncle
like
Junior.
5 feet tops
I
and a
thought
frail
that,
old man, but I mean, in his,
yeah.
early 80s possibly, but still like a complete difference in there. Either way, appreciate the comments. Keep dropping the comments about the trailer. Send us messages. The last thing I'll say about this, director Peyton Reed, he pretty much went to Marvel when he had the idea, or when they were developing the idea for Quantumania, and he said, "I've had it. Enough's enough. I want an Avengers level movie. So if you have high expectations for this movie, rightfully so, because he's not holding anything back. He wants it to be dramatic, action packed. He said, "I want an Avengers level film." Like, we've already had two kind of maybe mediocre kind of filler movies, right? He goes, "Not anymore. We're taking it from here." And so expect the unexpected, expect some big moments, expect some cameos, right? Like, if you tell Marvel you want an Avengers level type movie, there's got to be some other characters potentially that show up in here that we weren't expecting. At least that's what I would hope for. But let us know your thoughts and your theories going forward. Who doesn't make it out? What's the over under? Let us know if it's going to be Scotty who falls, or maybe it's Michael Douglas's character who doesn't make it. Let us know in the comments. Appreciate you guys um, watching that with us. That was spectacular. I can't wait. Kang, been waiting for Kang for years. Alrighty. Joe, you, sir, were a part of the San Antonio screening for Megan, and I watched your review. You had a lot of great things to say, and we want you to also let the people watching right now know, should they go see Megan. The floor is yours, sir.
Megan, yes, you definitely should go see Megan, and it's a weird type of genre because you want to classify it as almost like they want to classify it as a horror film, but it's not really a horror film. It's more of a dark comedy. But either way, I didn't expect this from Blumhouse this early in the year. 2023 starting off with the bang with Megan. Megan is a very unique film, and that's not a bad thing at all. It's refreshing, to see. And you've seen, these dolls and in cyborg kind of movies before, but this is a very fresh, unique take on the whole genre. And the only thing that you can classify it kind of with is, child's play with Chucky and all that, but it's nothing like that. It's completely different. Story was spot on. It was funny. There was a lot of laugh out loud moments. Some moments that had some jump scares and some cringy death scenes that make you go, "Oh!" You hear the whole audience doing that, and it's just a fun film. It's a fun watch, and I gotta commend Blumhouse for what they were able to do with such a unique character and a unique story, and just the execution was spot on. That's why I'm like, I think Megan's going to be one of these sleeper hits for the whole year, quite honestly. And it's a strong showing from Blumhouse. It was totally unexpected with the budget of just $12 million. Megan has already turned off a profit. I believe what over the weekend it finally grossed what $30.2 million and ticket sales
Domestically, yeah, 40,
domestically.
45 million worldwide.
Yeah, I mean it's already a bona fide hit, in the eyes of Blumhouse and everybody else. And I'm not the only one who's really thought, high given Megan high marks. If you go and look on Rotten Tomatoes or see what other reviewers have said about it, it's a good watch. It's a fun film. If you go and see it, I don't understand how you're just not going to have fun watching this. This is one of those that you just sit down, you get your popcorn, and you enjoy the ride. I mean, yes, it's kind of over the top at sometimes, and it can have some little corny scenes, but overall, the execution was just amazing. I mean, I didn't expect this from Blumhouse, Ted. I'm really surprised. And if you want to go see the full non-spoiler review, make sure you go and check that out at the Countdown City Geekcast Facebook page. And we're going to go ahead and release that shortly on the Countdown City Geekcast YouTube channels, which you should be subscribing to, by the way, because we have some great content coming out for that platform as well.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
with Blumhouse. I mean, just an incredible job by the studio. I want to know how much a part of the viral dance was dumb luck or strategic planning by the studio. I know there had to have been some talks about it for sure. I'm not gonna just chop that up to dumb luck. On a $12 million budget, made an entertaining film. From what I hear, I haven't seen it myself, but I'm very impressed with that turnaround. And I'm wondering why we can't get people like that to handle some of our bigger franchises who can spend less money and make things awesome. But look at that 94%, 80% audience score. That's a home run. especially when you've already made $30 million.
Not only, yeah, not 30 million, yeah, domestically, and then even David put that in the chat as well. 45 million
Well, I mean,
worldwide,
made
and that
profited 30 million.
sure, sure,
So
sure.
now that you've profited $30 million and you have that score and you're going viral, I mean, that's just a home run.
You know what I think I attribute the success to this film is? Not only is it just a good film, but the way that Blumhouse was able to market this film. If you go back and you look and see what they did with the social media marketing of Megan, it was really well done. They did a lot with a lot less, and it just took off. It kind of just had a mind of its own, so to speak. No pun intended, because of the AI that's referenced in the film. But kudos to Blumhouse. I mean, they just did a miraculous job. I look forward to seeing more content like this coming from Blumhouse.
Um, let's see here. What was I gonna say? I totally forgot. Well, it's weird. I didn't. I feel like I didn't see a lot of marketing. Maybe it was like I don't spend a lot of time on
With the
TikTok. Was
dance,
there like a lot of TikTok marketing going
well, they
on?
did a lot of marketing on social media, like Twitter. Everybody was laughing at the little dance scene. They were using that as a GIF, and I saw it being used in the marketing of the film. They had, even like the commercials and whatnot. You would see that pop up a lot on social media, and you would see some of the commercials that were very strategic in nature that would come out on TV. But I think they really did take advantage of social media, and great on them, because you get a lot more bang for your buck on social media than you would on national TV because it's so expensive. They were just very savvy in the way that they marketed this film and just the execution overall. I mean, across the board, Blumhouse just knocked it out of the park.
It's surprising. One of the things that I heard is that Scream, what was it, 5, didn't even do this well its opening weekend, which is a huge franchise. Now that could be wrong also, but I'll go back and check.
Look at
Um,
Legacy of Nerd. He says they had Megan's show up to the NFL games this weekend. I mean, that's very savvy there, and when it comes to marketing.
I gotta spend more time on TikTok then, because I swear I didn't
Yeah.
see any of those
Yeah,
things.
tell
But
me about it, Ted. So, yeah.
but I hear that what's it called? They should have what? They should have had no time to shoot a low budget sequel in time for spooky season. I already hear rumors that a sequel's already been greenlit. Like they're not wasting any time with this. They're like, hey, we need to strike while the fire's hot. So
Yeah.
unless the rumors are not true, that they've already greenlit a sequel, and Blumhouse is not going to be one to question success. Like DC, they're one of the ones that's like, should we not? They'll overthink something. Blumhouse is like, no, profit, part two, or not even part two. This is the third film, is this right?
From Blumhouse?
No. There's been other Megans, right?
No, this is the first one. It's
Interesting.
it's a unique film. It's what I was saying. It's a unique dark comedy. I mean, they might have made more. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying this one, for me, this is the one that I'm introduced to. You know,
No, for sure, for sure.
And
Um,
but I mean, it's not the first time. I mean, Blumhouse has had some stuff, right? Didn't they did Purge, Get Out,
yeah.
yeah,
Megan.
but they also did Halloween Ends, and like that wasn't well received by everybody.
Right. But not everyone's going to hit it out of the park all the time. But
Sure.
a Blumhouse. I mean, this is great. And their marketing budget is now quadrupled because there's like an ultimatum plan. Hey, if weekend one we knock this thing out of the park, then we unlock some extra marketing budget to see how long we can kind of milk this cow. So I would expect to see a lot of Megan on your phones and on your TVs here in the next little bit. They're going to be purchasing some spots and getting the influencers in on it.
Yeah. You got to commend Blumhouse though, because I mean, shooters got to shoot, and regardless of what people think of the class of film that they release, not all of them are hits, but they still keep releasing films religiously. So I mean, this one to me is like one of the ones that really, in my mind, solidifies that hey, maybe they're starting to take a turn and really start doing
Yeah.
less with more, or a lot more with less, should I say.
And I wouldn't say that that market is necessarily cornered by any means. There's still room for someone to emerge as a champion in those types of movies, and Blumhouse is fully prepared. And the thing, because David's listing off a bunch of these in the chat, and just off of head, I couldn't remember what studios did those, but um, I mean, it looks like it's a studio that just likes making movies.
Yeah,
Whether
they
they're
do.
good all the time or not, it's clear based on this list of their movies that they just really like making movies, and maybe that's refreshing to see as well. A studio who just likes to make movies. A lot
Mhm.
of these big studios, sometimes it feels like a chore.
Yeah, I would like to see maybe if you and Ted actually get to watch this film at some point in time, even if it comes out, on streaming or whatever, and you finally get to watch it then, to just to let me know, what you all thought of it.
Now, I'm
Uh,
gonna go watch it this weekend. I'm convinced now. This talk has got me convinced. I need to take Lauren on a date anyway. So,
I'm telling
uh,
you, Maddie, it's going to be a fun watch. You're going to come out of there and you're going to start laughing. You're going to have a smile on your face. You're going to be, this was a fun movie,
okay, I'm down. I'll check it out.
and just crush it with the Miller Lite, dude. That's just be the icing on the cake.
Well, you know me. The only problem that I have with movie theaters is because I do like to drink beer, and I'm not the biggest guy in the world, so my bladder gets full pretty quick, and
Ah.
so I have to take breaks. That's why I love watching movies at home because there's that beautiful pause button.
Wouldn't it be so amazing if they finally figured out how to do that? Like you could come back and there's like a little screen or something at your seat, a monitor, and you can just watch and
Or
kind of
it's a
catch
crowd.
up.
It's an audience vote. So somebody can propose a
Cool.
vote to the audience. So everybody has a little screen at their chair. You can
Pause.
whoever nominates a pee break. If a majority of the people in there say, "Yeah, let's take a pee break," then the movie pauses and you go to concessions, right? And then you come back.
Yeah. That'd be amazing. You
That,
vote on the time, hey, let's pause for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever.
honestly, that might increase concession sales. So something to think about. Maybe that's a big idea. Maybe we should cut that
Hey,
out
I
of here.
think you just gave the movie house an idea, Maddie. You need to go ahead and copyright that. Pee break Maddie. Pee break Maddie.
Dude, I have to pee right now.
That's what the cup's for. Just mute the mic.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, I know what we're clipping to TikTok in the morning. Good segment, boys. All right, we done?
Yeah, we done. We're gonna be moving on here, but just like to make a quick mention of the Bad Batch. Just want to say that series kicked off on Disney Plus, and for those who have not watched, make sure you go and check it out. I watched the first 2 episodes that are available now, and I enjoyed it. I thought they were really good. So looking forward to the new season of Bad Batch.
David says that pee break vote is a great idea, Matty B. Just make sure to drink out of the right cup.
Oh man,
and Daniel says,
Too late.
Geekcast has the dark returns. Awesome.
damn right,
It's a-
boys. And we all need to
it's
go
about
see a
time.
movie together. Can you imagine how much fun that would be?
Oh, we've done that before. I mean, I guess it's been a while, right, since we've done the
Yeah.
private showings.
But I and a bunch of the formal Geekcast folks and Geekcast members were at that Batman screening I was at. I think wasn't JC and his family there? Were you
Oh,
there,
for
Joe?
sure.
No, that one I went to see with my family.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just didn't know a lot of you guys yet. Ted was still introducing me.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, you want to sit near Maddie because Maddie's already made it known that he does share his snacks.
I do. I'm a big. I'm definitely the guy midway through the movie. You want to try these nachos?
Just don't drink
Love
out
it.
of his pea cup.
Oh yeah.
So Scream 2022 did in fact open with 30 million domestically, and like Megan matched that. First movie of this franchise, and like you said, Joe, just nailed it on the marketing, I suppose. And what's great is like the word of mouth is going to have some legs on this film. Like it's
Yeah.
going to be making a lot more. Not a like ton more, but it could probably end with another 20 or 30 million, like double what it's done by the time it's not in theaters anymore. And it might even have a pretty decent DVD Blu-ray sale afterwards.
Well, and also the bidding war for whatever streaming service picks it up.
Yeah.
There'll be a bidding war from the streaming service who gets it because of the hype.
I think it's Amazon that gets the Blumhouse films once they come out. Or you know what? It was this last time. It was on the Peacock network with Halloween. So who knows?
David says there was a Scream 6 trailer at my showing with
I saw that.
the talented Jenna Ortega in the trailer. Yeah. There's
Talk
definitely
about someone
one.
who's just taken over Hollywood recently. She's like the starlet. For a while, it was Sydney Sweeney. That's all I saw anything about was Sydney Sweeney. And now Jenna Ortega is the new it girl in
Yep,
Hollywood.
it
Of
sure
this,
is.
yeah.
I gotta say that trailer for Scream 2, I mean Scream 6 that came out before Megan, it looked pretty good, dude. You know, Jenna
Listen,
Ortega looked like she was
Scream,
gonna
Scream is good.
she
It
looked
just
like she was gonna do a good job with it, man. That's all I'm saying. It looked like a fun film.
I'm gonna go in with low expectations because like the last time a serial killer slash um evil villain went to Manhattan, it was Jason, and it didn't turn out well for that movie. Arguably the worst of that franchise. So the moment you start following that blueprint, I think it's all going to go downhill after that. So Ghostface taking over New York City. We'll see what happens. Like, it's gonna be interesting. I hope they pull it off. No Nev Campbell the first time. So like, can you survive a Scream movie without Nev Campbell? That's the thought. Ooh, or maybe they're just toying with us. Maybe she's the killer, and they're just trying to tell us that like
I
she's
feel
not
like
in
they've
it at
been
all.
setting that up for so long that Sydney would eventually become the killer. Um, that it would almost feel so suiting for that to happen, especially if Nev wanted to just step away from the role eventually. Speaking of another House of Cards actor, there's two House of Cards actors we've talked about here. Look at that.
She was, and
Um,
that was a role that was really surprising because you hadn't seen her a whole lot before.
But it
Like,
was perfect for her. She could do other stuff. She doesn't want to be
absolutely.
anchored to the Scream franchise forever. She's a very talented actress. If she wanted to bow out, it'd be very cool to make Sydney the killer in that movie. I always wondered what they would do if they kind of just went way in left field and almost like shot a Scream movie like it was The Strangers, like where it's like real suspenseful and just like with Ghostface as the killer. But you gotta love their style of film and the poking fun at itself style that it has, sort of meta even. I love it.
Sydney got plastic surgery too. Looked like someone sort of looking like Sydney to become the killer.
I thought he was talking about Sydney Sweeney at first
Oh,
because I just brought that up.
Ooh,
uh,
David says that
yeah.
Nev Campbell twist would be epic in meta since she said she wasn't in it due to getting lowballed on her offer. Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, Joe, appreciate the additional thoughts on Megan. Matt's gonna check it out. I want to check it out. I love scary movies. I love the horror genre, and I've been meaning to see it. There's just a bunch of other things that I'm catching up on. Other TV shows I'm catching up on. Bad Batch being one of them. So yeah, um, I'll give you my thoughts as well. But I'm pretty sure
yeah.
that I'm going to fall in line with everybody else and probably enjoy it as much as you say I will. You came across some gameplay footage for a fan made Superman game, and you wanted to show us, show everybody, and bring it on the show. So, Joe, please take it away.
Yeah. You got to share. I'm sharing, trying to share the screen with you.
Is
There you
is
go.
this
There you go.
is
There
this
you go.
the same one? The Unreal Engine one?
Yeah, Unreal Engine 5. So this is an open-ended world uh, style game that a fan made of Superman using the Unreal Engine 5. It looks amazing.
Where's JC and Jericho when you need them?
It kind of looks like an action figure on a string here, but
And it's fan made. So if you fan made it, it's a heck of a job.
The skyline is beautiful. Do you know who the creator of this is, Joe?
Let me see. Music Play is the channel that it's under. And that's basically all we know. But look at how many views it has. 1.7 million views.
It does look like Sega Dreamcast logos on the gaming.
It's amazing to me. You know, they put a lot of great effort and work into it for being fan made. Where did this talent? Well, there we go. We don't have to show the full thing, but you all get the idea.
What happens next? Hold on, that's like a great shot. Is he really gonna just
Well,
like?
You want to see it? All right, I'll
Well,
bring it
just-
back.
Does
was
he
pretty
fly
in
back
depth.
to Earth?
Let's see. I'll push play. Show it on screen.
What a fake out.
David was on the perfect timing from the Dr. Manhattan Easter egg. Alright, so we can stop
Yeah, pause
here.
it because the kid couldn't hear you with the music in the background.
Yeah,
But
so-
yeah, whoever is making this is clearly good at world building and realistic scenery. I
No,
wouldn't
no
say
doubt.
the mechanics of Superman didn't look that great. When he was flying, he looked like an action figure, like just like
Yeah.
on a string.
Need some polish, but I mean that's what working with the studio will get you. You know, all these designers and programmers and whatnot getting all this stuff correct. You know,
Mhm.
but you like where they're going with it. A very open world where you can pretty much do anything. You know, I dig it, man, because you've seen Superman games in the past, and they really kind of haven't lived up to the hype. We haven't seen a really good execution, and I would like to see, you know, maybe a studio kind of take this on and really move forward with it. I mean, I think it could be something. Maybe it could give Spider-Man a run for his money, you know?
Hey, there you go.
Those are the
I
best
like
open world games.
I like the idea. I love the concept. I love that it could, potentially be an open world. Like flying to the moon, that was a pretty cool fake out because he was like gonna dive back to Earth and says like, "Er, let's go ahead and take a quick trip around the moon. And
Yeah.
here's a little just a clip or a photo of him staring back at the planet. That's pretty dope. I would like it. I would appreciate it. Like flying around Metropolis, stopping crime and Lex Luthor and all that. Like that's one thing. But if you could fly around the world, stopping like missiles from being launched and like wars from happening and whatever else, like that would be pretty dope. And that would be pretty awesome. Also, when he flies, his hands need to be out in front. The whole time he's flying with like his arms to his side, wasn't it? And that seems a little off to me. But
Oh yeah. Look
regardless,
at Dave
pretty
Lozano's
impressive.
on the right track. Look what he said. He says run it through an AI program to eliminate the stiffness and would look way better. Yeah, well that's what working with the big studio will get you, you know, a lot better execution. But the base of what they have right now with this fan made, you know, demo, it looks really good. That's why it has so many views.
It would be awesome
Uh,
if they did an open world again, like Ted, like you were saying, preventing wars, getting involved internationally in world affairs, a lot of politics around kind of the existence of the Superman and should he be intervening here, and I in a huge open world concept like that would be pretty amazing and in depth gameplay. I would think.
you can have so many of the villains, doing things around the world, and you have to, put a stop to them. Aliens from outer space, the Brainiac, stuff like that. David says, "Perfect time for a Doctor Manhattan Easter egg."
Yeah. When he
That'd be
was on the
awesome.
moon, that's what he was saying when he was on the moon. You couldn't hear me. But that's what I was saying. That would have been perfect. Show Doctor Manhattan there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I think it would be dope. I forget the last Superman solo game I played. I feel like it was way back when, like the
N64.
original. I was gonna say original Xbox maybe, but maybe it was the N64. And I feel like you didn't spend a lot of time on Earth. Like you were kind of fighting aliens on like other planets, which was not bad, but still like it wasn't exactly what we've been looking for. They need to do it. I don't. Maybe that somebody's developing it. I hope. Regardless, this looks sick, and I hope we get something close to this. Maybe next time we'll talk about the Star Wars game that is been announced in development, but we have like years to wait before that comes out. But that's going to be similar type open world or open galaxy type of game. So that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, Joe, thanks for bringing that up, man. Any
Yeah.
final thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm agreeing with everybody. You got a good foundation to build off of. Hopefully, someone will pick it up and move forward with it, and give the fans what they want. I mean, the video alone has over 1 million views, and that goes to show you. Can you imagine if all those people were to purchase said game? That movie house would make a good amount of cash, off of that. And also want to just say thanks to everybody who's watching here and interacted with us. David Lozano, shout out to you. Legacy of Nerd, shout out to you. We appreciate you guys and interacting with us. And give us some love too. And even Gunnar Barker, who is watching us as well. Give us some love. Hit the like button. Give us some hearts. Send us some stars. It's always appreciated. So make sure you also
Absolutely.
like and subscribe to just not only the YouTube channel, but also go ahead and, turn on those notifications for the Facebook channel as well.
And if you joined us last week for our first show of the new year, we did a great segment of That's What Geek Said. Had a blast. I rewatched it twice. I love playing that game, especially with everybody on the team. Appreciate all the likes, all the stars. Y'all are lighting it up right now. You
Thanks,
guys are
fellas.
awesome.
Appreciate you, man.
And I also teased a big announcement that I was going to drop today on this stream. So, without
I've
further
been
ado,
I've been on bated breath. What is it, Ted? Hey,
It's
you
without
wouldn't
fan
tell me
question
before
time,
we.
Maddie.
without further ado, um, I want to start out by saying, this show has come an extremely long way. We started in 2015. We were strictly a podcast. Like that's all we had, an audio show. And still, like the first year, which we started sort of in the middle of the year, we only dropped like maybe 12 episodes, maybe for the whole first year that we were out. Like we didn't get a lot of opportunities to put the show out. So fast forward 2023, almost 8 years later. I'm happy to announce that the show is expanding even further. Not only are we going to continue doing the 3 streams that we do weekly, but we will be launching this month a brand new media website. This media website will not only include all of the content that you've been watching, that you can find everywhere, but it will also expand into more interviews, written articles, more content with um, actors, directors, writers, comic book artists, athletes, you name it. Like we have just so many ideas that we're working on right now. And so by the end of this month, a new website will be launched and you will find out what it's going to be called very soon. But I wanted to go ahead and make the announcement that Geekcast is definitely expanding. We're probably going to be bringing a few of our friends along for the ride as well. And so it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a step. It's a huge step forward. I've been talking about this next step with these guys, especially for about a year, maybe a few years now. So finally happening. Cannot wait. And this year alone, like I'm super excited there's just so many things. There's so many people that we've been talking to. There's so many events that are already out there that we're planning on attending. It's just exciting, and it's so much that it takes time to kind of sit through it and really plot and plan everything out, making calls, sending out emails and whatnot. But it's super dope, and it's I don't want it to slow down, and I don't want to stop also giving back to the community and stuff like that. Me and Maddie are planning additional charity events this year with the Ghost Heads radio show and all the Ghostbuster chapters across the country. So just a lot to work on, a lot to plan. More details coming very soon. But thanks to everybody who watches. Thanks to everybody for your comments, your messages, the things you send. It's been pretty awesome. And so, yeah, cannot
The
wait.
the
More coming
things you
soon.
said, the things you do for me, baby. Um, no, but that's awesome, and it is something we are working on. And one thing that I'm really excited about is getting into the written form. It's actually um, I'm not the best speaker in the world, but I really love writing, and so I think that that's going to be a fun and interesting thing to do. These block topics, and I can't wait to you know get these other guys involved with that as well. It's describing one thing on video is one thing, but writing it down may be a little bit easier to consume. So we'll see.
Absolutely. And real quick shout out to Raymond Terrazas, who is going to be joining us on the stream starting next week to tease what we'll be talking about next week. The Last of Us, the highly anticipated HBO series, The Last of Us, drops next Sunday. And so please watch the show and then come join our discussion every Monday night around 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for our Last of Us discussion series that starts in 1 week on
I can't
January
wait. I
16th.
can't wait to watch something good, man. I'm just again, I'm going to go into it thinking it's going to be great. The Last of Us is
Yeah.
awesome,
Has
and
to be better
I
than
can't
Willow,
wait.
Maddie.
I'm so glad we're out of high fantasy realm. Can we just watch something else? And then, I love high fantasy. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes a little bit, but
Yeah, this Willow was bad.
no, The Last of Us should be dope.
Yeah.
Baby is sleeping on my chest, so I can actually type today. LOL. Congrats, man. I'm hoping you're getting some sleep because I know how those first few months go. We all know how those first few months go.
You're always
So
tired.
appreciate the comments. David says nice, and David also says he is hyped for The Last of Us. It it looks spectacular. What a cast! Nick Offerman, are you kidding me? Like the cast is stacked. The story is fantastic. The source material is great. Cannot wait. And plus, they're backed and financed by HBO. So please tune in next Monday for the start of our Last of Us discussion review series. For the Geekcast, my name is Ted, aka Steady. Joining me on this episode was the man behind the magic. You know him as Joe Garcia.
Yeah, thanks everybody again for watching and interacting with us. And like always, like, subscribe, share, spread that love, spread the news about the what's coming up for the Countdown City Geekcast. We got big things in play here. And we just appreciate you guys. We couldn't do this without you guys. So thank you so much.
Liana Mormont, the little bear or lady bear, forgot what she's called, but yeah, definitely, she's gonna be fantastic. Thanks for watching, and also, you can't forget my partner in crime, the one and only Maddie B.
Look at that. We kept it to an hour for you guys. Now you can spend time with your families. And while I crush beer like a savage, have a good day.
Thanks for watching, folks. We'll catch you next week. Peace.
Peace.